Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham, Chapter 20. Om Sai Ram. The account of Vishwadhani. Description of the divine auspicious form of Sripada. In the early morning, I reached Karangudda to have darshan of Sripada. Divine rays of illumination were emitting from him. Peace, compassion, love, and knowledge were issuing forth as brilliant light from the divine eyes of Sripada. Those who were in his presence were receiving peace, compassion, love, and wisdom, even without asking for it. When the Lord of the universe, who is formless, assumed a form and appeared in human form before my eyes, ineffable joy and astonishment flooded my entire nature. Sripada kindly begged me to approach him and gave salutations to him. When he beckoned me, inexplicable waves of peace and love rose from his divine hands. I experienced as though they transported my mind, heart, and body to some other unknown worlds. I touched his auspicious feet with devotion. My body felt lighter. I noticed that dark aura emanated from his eyes. After some time, black luster came out from all the organs of my body. This black luster assumed an ugly human form. This form exactly resembled me. Sripada smilingly asked me, "Have you noticed who that black form is, which very much looks like you?" I replied, "Swami, I noticed that the form resembles me, but I do not know why it came out of my body. I also do not know who that form is." Then Sripada said, "My dear, that black shape is your sinful body. He is your sinful personality. Whatever remained in your body now is the pious personality. In every human body, a sinful personality and a pious personality exist. Liberation is the release from both sin and merit. One who takes birth as a Brahmin must be righteous and must burn down his sinful body. Not all that with the strength of his merit he must uplift others. Not only that, with the strength of his merit he must uplift others. A Brahmin should mainly possess the attribute of sattva. He should carry out the rituals for the benefit of others as prescribed in the Vedas and scriptures, and should collect from them only that much money which is necessary for his living. By receiving that money, he also takes on their sin automatically. He should burn those sins in the fire of his intense penance. Only such a Brahmin who lives like that is worthy for the word Brahmin. If this is not the case, then he is a Brahmin only on account of his caste. He cannot become a Brahmin endowed with Brahmajnana. People like my maternal grandfather Sri Bapanna Raya and his father Appala Raja Sharma can be called noble Brahmins. My maternal grandmother Rajamba and my mother Sumati Maharani are very pious. By mere remembering such persons, thousands of sins in the bodies of the living creatures will disappear immediately. Speaking these words, Sripada became silent for a while. He touched the center of my eyebrows and stretched his right hand. A brilliant illumination rose from the palm of his hand. Sacred materials required for the fire rituals materialized at once. Gold, silver, and some sweet fruits and flowers originated afterwards. Then the holy fire arose. The sinful person who came out of my body cried with great fright. With his eye movement, Sripada commanded the sinful person to fall into the divine fire and get reduced into ashes. The person fell into the fire rather unwillingly. Flames spread all over my body. I cried, "Swami, I am being burnt. Save me, save me." A wave of light from the divine eyes of Sripada touched me. My body became cool. The fire of the fire ritual burnt the sinner. A variety of electrical currents arose in my body. I was aware of the awakening of my Kundalini. My pulse stopped. My heartbeat halted. I slipped into a state of trance. It was afternoon. it was Thursday. Sripada took a bath. He was surrounded by his devotees. Sripada touched with the hand the food offered by the devotees as bhiksha. He sprinkled the water from his kamandalu on the devotees. Some food was placed along the 8 directions as sacrificial offer. With the musical voice of millions of cuckoos, he called me by my name. He ordered all the people present there to take meals. He instructed me to come near him. He closed his eyes for a second. Later, he opened his eyes again and cast his look on me. A silver vessel appeared in his hand. It was filled with North Indian dish called halwa. Sripada liked this halwa dish. Sripada said, Shankar Bhatt, my devotees tie me with their bonds of devotion. I am only bound by pure care and devotion. In the house of Shreshti, his wife Venkata Subbamma prepared this sweet for me and took a vow that she would take meals only after I eat the sweet. Their granddaughter Lakshmi Vasavi tied Raksha Bandhan to my hand. She said that the astrologers predicted that death was indicated in the horoscope of her husband. She observed a diksha that her husband should live long. She insisted me that if it was true that she tied a Raksha Bandhan to me, I should take the prasad and bless her as Sumangali. There was no choice for me. I blessed Chiranjeevi Lakshmi Vasavi as Lakshmi Saubhagyavati and granted her flowers, bangles and kumkum. I brought along the halwa prepared with love by Venkata Subbamma, whom I regard as my maternal grandmother. The prasad will destroy greater sins earned over many births. I will personally receive the prasad offered in my house of my devotees through subtle rays. However, as it was cooked in the house of Sri Shreshti, it is Mahaprasada and therefore I physically received it in person. You also take this prasad. I took the prasad. Who can describe the sweetness of the prasad? He threw some portion of the prasad into the sky. It went somewhere in the sky. He let some prasad slip from his palm. Then the earth there gave way to the prasad. After the prasad went into the earth, the broken earth came back to normal state. The devotees who were present there also desired to have that prasad. The incarnation of Sripada will never disappoint anyone. Though the prasad was distributed to many, it was inexhaustible. In the meanwhile, a devotee named Guru Charan, born in the Padmasali caste, came there. Sripada gave the prasad to him also. Then he threw that silver vessel into the river Krishna. Sripada observed, Padmashalis belong to the lineage of Markandeya. For some reason, they became non-vegetarians. No action takes place without a reason in my presence. Guru Charana, you have been offering me Naivedya for many days. You are leading a pious life, seeking refuge at the lotus feet of the Satguru. Today, you could receive the Mahaprasad from the hands of Sri Guru. Explained to Shankar Bhatt about the Guru Tattva. As far as you know, in the afternoon, I will be in a yogic sleep. I will travel to the subtle using the mind. No one should visit me during that time. My rest should not be disturbed. It was indeed the will of Sri Guru that I should meet a great devotee named Sri Guru Charan. Sri Guru Charan made good progress in the path of yoga. I requested to explain the nature of Sripada and make me gratified. Then Guru Charan began to expedite. Attributeless phenomena whose great resolve resulted in the creation and substance and liquidation of countless millions of universe incarnated in the ancient yugas, Sri Dattatreya taking a form and taking on attributes. The phenomena has incarnated in the yuga at present in the form of Sripada Srivallabha. This incarnation is formless but appears in a human form, attributeless but appears as the one with attributes, a comprehensive form of all deities but looks like a single deity. He is the ultimate destination for all paths of yoga. All forms of deities who appear to the sage through their individual practice and penance from the beginning of the creation are really the divine manifestations of Sripada. In the ancient times, sages had many divine powers. Vasishtha, who performed the rituals with Havya, Vishwamitra and Jamadagni used to follow the procedures of performing rituals without Havya. Only the one who knows the secret of the mantras and the secret of that ritual is capable of doing the ritual or not doing it, or doing it in a different way. Sripada is omnipotent. Since he knows the secret of karma, differences will be seen in his treatments of different individuals. The power of love is superior to all other powers. Its strength is infinite. Bappanaraya or Narsimhavarma or Pindya Venkatappa Shrestri are endowed with peculiar yogic wealth. All the three had an abundant and affectionate devotion towards Sripada. With the power of their love, they can compel Sripada to fructify any particular work. Sripada also has to yield to their wishes. Sripada has a natural trait of seeing his mother in every woman. If anyone with natural affection treats Sripada as a divine child and worships him, Sripada will behave like a small child in their house. This is the Mahamaya. It is a matter that defies logic that the attributeless and formless Parabrahman, who is repeatedly extolled as such by the yogis and the wise men, should display his divine sport as a divine child in Pitikapuram. For those who practice with the idea that God can only obtain through the study of Vedas and scriptures, through the path of yoga and jnana, God can be experienced by them only through those paths. Experience of God is systemized through the scriptures. However, the experience of God can also be had through a route beyond the path of scriptures. God is fully independent in all aspects. The sportive play of Sripada are not amicable for logic. They are unheard of the before. Then I requested Sri Guru Charan, "Sir, how did you first get the darshan of Sripada? Kindly give me an account of it and make me blessed." On that, Guru Charan said, "Oh pious Brahmin, you are very fortunate. On the account of merits earned in my previous births, I had the fortune of narrating it to you, the divine pastimes of Sripada in his very presence. You have the grace and compassion of Sri Guru." Having said this, he briefly explained the way he had the first darshan of Sripada. "I was born in a family of devotees. Lord Dattatreya is our family deity, and I was worshipping him from childhood. There were a lot of financial worries in my family. However, I prayed Lord Dattatreya. My troubles did not diminish. On the other hand, they got worse. Some elders advised me that I did not have the grace of Lord Dattatreya and that I should select another deity as a family deity and worship that deity, upon which my difficulties might be resolved. I was contemplating as to which deity should be selected as a family deity so that my troubles would ease. With that thought, I slipped into sleep. One day in my dream, I saw a dreadful butcher. He was tending a herd of sheep with great love. He was slaughtering some sheep every day with his butcher's knife. The knife in his hand evoked great fear in me. With a profound sound of rumbling clouds, he thundered that I am Datta. Whatever god and goddess you worship, all belong to me only. When you simply change the names and shapes of the deity you worship, I will not change. More than that, I will not leave you. You are my shadow. How can my shadow leave me and exist separately? I am the great resolve that administrates the will of all the deities and humans. I am the Brahman form which all incarnations of God emanate. An animal caught in the mouth of the tiger may escape, but you who have caught in my hand cannot escape. Devotees of Datta should be like young lions and not be cowards. I am like lion. Young ones of the lion cannot have any fear of the lion. They will amuse their mothers with great sport. It is certain that I will kill you with this knife. There is no one in all the three worlds who can save you." I was crying madly with terrible fright, but this time my dream shattered. Inmates of my house asked me about the matter. I told them about my dream. I wailed that I was undergoing penury as a result of my past deeds in some birth. Our financial difficulties got worse. I felt that it would be better if I die. Next morning, a Haridas appeared before my house. There was a wooden chambles in his hand, and he was singing the name of Hari. He kept on his hand a vessel of storing rice. He was a strange Haridas. He kept a small piece of Audambar tree in his vessel, and it was considered as a bad omen if the rice is not offered to the Haridas standing in front of the house. Therefore, I searched in the house for some rice and offered Haridas a fistful of broken rice found in my house. After much search, the Haridas received a fistful of broken rice and said, "Sir, last night a butcher murdered one Gurucharan, a devotee of Datta. However, that wonder is that the life force of that man left his body and settled in this Audambar plant." It is a standard saying that Sri Dattatreya resides at the foot of an Audambar tree. This plant is not an ordinary one. There is a great kshetra named Sri Pitikapuram in the Godavari region. It is said that the self-existing Datta moves in that town in a gesture of Sripada Srivallabha. This plant belongs to the offerings of the Audambar tree in the house of the maternal grandfather of Sripada. Plant this in your house and derive all auspicious things. On hearing this, my head reeled. I told the Haridas, "I am that Gurucharan. I was not murdered. I am Datta's devotee. I saw the butcher in my dream. He warned me that he would kill me with this knife. I heard that when a person dies and his body is not available, sticks of Audambara tree are arranged on the corpse and funeral rites are performed considering the stick as to be the corpse of the dead person. But it is unheard of and unseen that any place that the life forces of a person is attached into an Audambar tree and the same time the life forces are retained in the person." The greatness of Audambar tree. Then the Haridas loudly laughed and said, "It is true what you say. I don't deny it. The entire mystery of creation is known only to the Adi Guru, Lord Dattatreya. Even the 7 rishis cannot understand what he proposes to do in the next moment. Such being the case, what are you? What am I? You are thinking that bodily death of a man is the only death. When the period of death approaches, a Satguru may subject his disciple to terrible mental agony, horrible dishonors, unbearable troubles and losses, and erase accumulated karma, and grant him rebirth. An incarnation may subject his dependent to slight trouble and grant him rebirth. However, Sri Dattatreya attracts the life forces of his dependents to the Audambar tree where he always lives and rescues the body of the dependent with the life force released from the Audambar tree. The inarrogant dependent thinks that he is alive from the life forces in his body, but the fact is that the life force emitting from the Audambar tree is conducting the body's function of the devotees uninterruptedly. The moment the period of the death elapses, the life force issuing forth from the Audambar tree firmly established in the devotee, and the devotee will live for some more time. The Audambar tree will remain perfect, however much the life force may be released from it. The reason for that is Sri Dattatreya remains well established at the base of every Audambar tree in a subtle form. All that the Haridas told was strange to me. The Haridas, whose name was Krishnadas, went his own way. I planted the Audambar tree in my backyard and started taking care of the growth of the Audambar tree with great love and devotion. A distant relative of mine was trading silk clothes. He became old and he had no children. He had motiveless love for me. he began to stay in our house. He gave some money to me and advised me to carry on the business of silk clothes. He was also circumambulating the Audumbar tree in our house and worshipping Lord Dattatreya with devotion. Whenever any difficulties arose in our house, we used to solely go around the Audumbar tree, present our troubles to the great tree. Our sufferings was reaching Lord Datta. Our troubles were getting solved in unanticipated ways. The Audumbar tree was acting like a bridge of friendship between us and Dattatreya. Sir, worship of the Audumbar tree is very important duty of a Datta devotee. If an Audumbar tree is in the house, it is as though Sri Dattatreya is verily in the house. However much efficacy of the Audumbar tree is described, it amounts to an understatement only. We shall continue from here in the next episode. Om Sai Ram.